Right, let's talk about something huge. We're going to dive into how startups, yes, even on a shoestring budget, can tap into the crazy power of artificial intelligence. It all comes down to a concept called the lean data strategy. And trust me, it's the secret weapon you need for turning your data into real growth. For the longest time, getting real AI-powered insight felt like a superpower reserved for the giants, the Googles and Amazons of the world. The ability to predict what your customers will do next was locked behind this massive million-dollar paywall. Well, I'm here to tell you that era is officially over. The playing field, it's been leveled. So to really get why this is such a big deal, you got to look at how things used to be done. The traditional big data approach, honestly, for a startup, it's poison. It's slow, it's crazy expensive, and it's rigid. Three things you just can't afford when you're moving fast. But luckily, there's a much, much better way. Okay, let's talk money first. The old way meant hunting down and hiring these super expensive, specialized data scientists, and then spending a fortune on rigid on-premise servers. The new lean way? It's about empowering the team you already have and using flexible pay-as-you-go cloud services. Think about it like this. You're getting 80% of the value for maybe 10% of the cost. For a startup, that's not just saving a few bucks. That's literally extending your runway. And it's not just about the cost. It's about speed. A traditional data project could seriously take anywhere from 6 to 18 months to give you an answer. By the time it's done, your business has changed, the market has changed, the problem you were trying to solve might not even exist anymore. The lean way, though, it's a sprint. We're talking about going from a critical question to a data-backed action plan in a matter of weeks, not years. So this new way of thinking, this is what we call the lean data strategy. And for a startup, this isn't just some alternative method. It's an unfair advantage. It's how you can outthink, outmaneuver, and outpace the big established players in your space. At its heart, this is a really simple but powerful idea. It's not about hoarding mountains of data. No, it's about using the right data, laser-focused on answering your single most critical business question, and doing it as fast as humanly possible. This whole philosophy gives you an edge, and it's built on 4 key pillars. These are the 4 big ideas that let a startup punch way above its weight. We've already touched on the insane cost savings and the speed, but I really want to zoom in on this idea of asymmetric competitive advantage. What does that even mean? Well, it means you stop competing on who has the biggest budget and start competing on who's the smartest. For instance, let's say your big, slow, incumbent competitor has some clunky lead scoring model built into Salesforce. It's probably rigid and only gets updated once a quarter. But you, the lean startup, you can set up a dynamic model in a tool like HubSpot that learns from what users are doing right now. It sees a potential customer just visited the pricing page 3 times. Boom, an alert goes to your sales team instantly. That's competing on intelligence. That's being faster and smarter. Okay, so the why is pretty clear, right? This approach is an absolute game changer. But the big question is, how do you actually do it? So let's walk through a simple 5-step playbook to bring this strategy to life. This framework gives you a clear roadmap, all the way from figuring out what to ask to actually building a culture around data. And look, while every step here is important, I'm telling you the entire thing lives or dies on getting that very first step right. Your whole journey begins and ends with the quality of your initial question. It's so easy to get distracted by the shiny new tech, right? We all do it. But you got to remember, AI is just a tool. It's a hammer. And even the most powerful, most advanced model on the planet is completely useless if it's solving a problem that doesn't actually move the needle for your business. It all has to start with a high-impact business question. So how do you find that golden question? It's actually pretty straightforward. Get your key people in a room, sales, marketing, product, you name it, and brainstorm business pain points, not AI solutions. Then group those questions into big themes, like how do we get more users? How do we keep the ones we have? Then you score them. Use a simple I score. How big is the potential impact? How confident are we that we can solve it? And how easy is it to actually do? Your highest scoring question? Boom, that's your mission. Theory is great, but seeing it in action is way better. So let's make this real. Let's follow a fictional SaaS startup. We'll call them SyncUp. as they put this exact framework to the test and run a pilot project to get a real-world result. After their workshop, this was the question that came out on top for SynCup. It's a brilliant question. Why? It's specific, you can absolutely measure it, and you just know that answering it is going to have a massive impact on revenue. So this became the single focus of their very first 2-week AI sprint. So SynCup used a simple AI tool to predict which customers were most likely to leave. Then they ran a classic experiment. They took a chunk of those high-risk customers and did nothing. That was the control group. Their churn rate was 25%. Ouch. But for the test group, who got a proactive red carpet intervention, their churn rate plummeted to just 5%. Okay, but what does that 20-point drop in churn actually mean in dollars and cents? Well, after they calculated the revenue they saved versus the tiny cost of the campaign and the tool, this 2-week pilot project delivered a staggering 180% return on investment. I mean, come on. A number like that makes the decision to scale this thing out a complete no-brainer. And that is the power of this lean approach. The SynCup story, it isn't some kind of magic trick. It's a method. It's a recipe. And it's a method that's accessible to literally everyone, which brings this whole conversation right back to you and your startup and how your journey can begin. So if you only take one thing away from all this, please let it be this. Using AI is not some far-off dream that's out of reach. Your journey doesn't start when you raise a giant Series A or hire a team of PhDs. It starts with curiosity. It starts with a single, well-formed question. So I'm going to leave you with this. Forget about the technology for a moment. Just think about your business. What is the single most important question you could answer that would unlock growth, that would change the game for you? That question, right there, that's your starting line.